Welcome back. So I did this instead of killing myself, everyone. There's people in the apartment, so I have to do this in one take. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Monday. It's, what's the date? This is the week of August 14th, 2023, and I got a haircut. Yeah, if you're watching, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I got a haircut on Friday, and I didn't want to go this short, but basically the hairdresser lady didn't speak English, so I said, I don't want to go too short. She said, I make it, it's good, and she cut it like this, so there's nothing I could do. I kind of miss the long hair. I feel like a dog. You know those? You ever see a dog that has like a when they get their hair cut really short and they lose all self-confidence and don't really know how to be? I just feel she's fragile. Whatever. If you like it, say something nice in the things. If you don't say anything. Maybe I'll shave it all off. I don't know. Maybe I'll go with a hairstyle like our buddy, our guest today. Because our guest today, awesome. Our first New York comic guest today. Very excited. Very nice guy. But this guy also has a little recession. That's probably not the first thing he wants me to say about him. But receding hairline. What's up? See? Candidate for hair surgery. But anyway, let me just get into our guest. Our guest today, awesome dude. New friend in New York City, Zach Koscuik. I really like this guy. In New York, you know, it's hard to make new friends, but hit it off with Zach very early because he is just such an accessible guy, nice guy, very likable on stage. He's been in New York City 2 years. He's from Syracuse, originally from New Jersey. He's very entertaining, very quick on his feet. I'm trying to think of a comic that he reminds me of. I don't know. For some reason, I want to say Ron Howard, although that's not really right. But you'll see on the interview, he's. I really like his tone of speaking. He's very, very quick with jokes, lots of punchlines, very great polished material. And he is a super nice guy. He has a car here. He lives here in Queens, and he's been nice enough. We've carpooled around the area, going to Mike's, and been very gracious, showing us around and doing some stuff. Gets booked, performs all over the city. He's got a lot of great content on his Instagram, so please follow him. In this interview, if you are listening and you're not from New York, you get a real taste of what it's like to be in New York. I pick his brain about, you know, what his experience has been like the last 2 years. We talk about a roommate situation. Alexis makes a very brief cameo in the beginning of the interview about, you know, how we're like fighting before we start recording. So you'll get a taste of that. He tells about his roommate situation and how the housing situation in New York is very fluid. You never feel like you're very secure in like what situation you have. If you're trying to land an apartment, you always feel like you're on the verge of homelessness, which we've definitely felt in finding a place here. Zach talks about when he came to New York, he never had a romantic glimmer in his eye. I definitely have that, but it's fading quickly, that romanticizing of New York. We go over Zach's opinions on the New York homeless population. He talks about what it's like riding the subway, so you get an inside look into that. He's got some really good subway grifter stories. He tells us the experience of an NYU grad party where he's hanging out with younger students and how he kind of hates the younger. Doesn't hate them, but we talk about that. Talk a little bit about Zach's upbringing. He was raised by a single mom for much of his life. Talk about his experience with therapy. Wouldn't be an episode of this podcast. We talk about therapy and why you picked a therapist with the most Italian-sounding name. Pro tip: go for the Italians. And we also talk about his dating life. He also has a track record with dating Italian girls from Long Island. So we had a lot of fun. Interviews about an hour and a half. I hope you enjoy it. I'm not going to shout out the local South Carolina shows, but as a reminder, please follow Greenville SC Comedy on Instagram for details about local shows. Hope you guys are all doing well there in South Carolina. And yeah, hope you guys have a great week, and I hope you enjoy my interview with Zach. Here it is.
This is the sluttiest outfit I have. This is my ankle cleavage.
Yeah?
It is actually.
Do I look like a slut? We're going. It's starting.
I brushed my hair for this.
Hello. Welcome back to the show.
Hello, show.
Alexis, go to your room. Do you want to come say hi?
Yo, you guys got a weird brother-sister dynamic, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I want, like, you guys are fighting as if, like, I basically feel like he's asking you for the rent money in advance, and I don't like how that's going.
Where's
I want you. Can you guys just like be nice for 5 seconds? Like, hey, David, love you. Thank you. Jesus.
I love you too.
The tension in this room is palpable. I want to. Jeez.
So Zach, what's your opinion of Alexa? So close it.
What's my opinion? Let's get in early. Now that the door's closed, let me tell you how I really feel.
Yeah. Yeah, what a terrible person, right?
She's fine.
I'm just kidding.
Great. I love your guys' dynamic. I feel like you either like your dynamic kind of says to me that there is some some unspoken about things. Something has to be talked about, and nobody has said anything yet. But
what are you implying, Zach?
Nothing. Literally nothing. I just feel like somebody accidentally left a couple extra dishes in the sink.
Oh yeah.
And it's like instead of me saying it, I'm just gonna passively aggressively tell you that you're a piece of shit. So
that goes on. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
We're adjusting to the roommate situation.
Roommate situations are, if you don't hate a roommate a little, you're not having a good time.
Yeah.
I feel you have to a little bit.
Yeah, you're not even interacting if you don't hate a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hate's a strong word. I think just we have like a verbal disagreement every so often that just needs to happen.
Wait, you're talking about your roommate situation?
I actually have really good roommates.
You have two?
I have two.
Okay.
Okay. So let's get into it early. So I have two roommates. One of them is a stand-up comic, and we live with this older gentleman who's about 65. Okay. Like a very handsome Singaporean man. Like he's kind of heavy, but he has beautiful hair. Uh-huh. And his routine in the morning takes forever. He's in the bathroom for solid maybe 30, 45 minutes in the morning. Uh-huh. But when he comes out, you can see like the steam from the shower, like parting the seas.
Naked?
No, he wears a towel.
But
I just see this like ruggedly handsome man in his 60s, and I'm like, okay, I can see why it takes so long.
Yeah,
it feels like he has to put a lot of pieces together.
From Singapore. He's
from Singapore.
China. Right? Is that China?
Dude, we can't do geography here.
China. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Singapore. All I know is that I live with somebody from Singapore.
How did you meet this guy?
Craigslist. Just like every great roommate situation. Yeah. No, the truth of the matter is, I guess I'll start from day one. So I've been in New York for almost 2 years now. Mm-hmm. I'm a hilarious stand-up comedian.
Yes,
as you guys probably
we'll talk about. Yes,
as we'll get into, obviously.
And he'll embody the funniness.
Yes. So I moved to New York. So I moved to New York September of 2021, end of September of 2021. Mm-hmm. In August, I actually rented an Airbnb for a week because I was just looking for somewhere to live. Okay. So I was like, I needed to figure out some sort of housing situation, and then I found a comic who was looking for a roommate. Mm-hmm. And he gave me like a virtual tour of his apartment. Mm-hmm. And then he prefaced it by saying like, hey, dude, I might have to give this apartment away to another comedian that's already verbally committed to it. And I go, that's fine. Like
You're like, why did you even show it to me then?
That's what I said. He goes, the guy looked at it 2 weeks ago and still hasn't given me the security deposit.
Okay. So he's flaking a little bit.
That's
when
he
needed the hedge to get you in there.
That's when I learned about New York housing. That the fact that they're putting people on retainer.
Yeah, nobody's all in. Nobody.
FOMO is at the highest level when it comes to New York housing. Yeah. So this guy is like, he's super cool. He's one of my good friends now. Mm-hmm. So I see the apartment like virtually, and then like 3 hours later, he texts me and goes, "It's a no-go. The guy actually gave me the money." And I go, "That's fine." He goes, "But there's a comedian in Astoria looking for somebody to take over a room. I'm going to send you his info." Okay. So I just DM'd him, and I go, "Hey man, I'm in town for the week. Can I look at the place?" He goes, "Can you be here like this afternoon?" I was like, "Absolutely." It was like a 10-block walk up to the place. And it's my this walk-up apartment, but it's one of those like divided houses. Mm-hmm. So it's one apartment is the left door, and it's its own apartment, and then the other door is the other apartment where you walk upstairs to the top level.
Oh, this sounds cool.
This
is all your guys' space,
dude. Yes,
this sounds way better than ours.
This apartment fucking ruled.
Is it a lot better than ours?
It's dude. It was the best apartment I've ever lived in. It was an old like building built in, like.
Wait, you got the exposed brick.
No, brick? Well, no, this one wasn't exposed brick, but the new apartment is. I'll get to that.
Oh God, okay.
Yeah, there's so many levels to this. So I look at this place, and the room that's available, dude, it's the size of a large studio apartment. It is a sick bedroom, and I'm like, this has got to be thousands of dollars a month. And he goes, no, man, it's actually pretty affordable. And I'm like, all right. I said, I will give you money right now. And he goes like, all right. I go, yeah, I'll give you a check right now. He goes, all right. So I did show the place to another guy like 2 hours before. I go, I just had this happen, dude. Like, I was like, my New York experience so far is not great.
Yeah.
So he goes, I'm getting the vibe from the guy that this is definitely not going to work out. He goes, so I'm pretty sure by the end of the day, this will be your place. And I go, awesome. And I go out into the city. I'm just going to start doing open mics and just.
So you were just killing time doing
just
mics.
walking around New York. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he DM'd me like 2 hours later. He goes, that guy backed out. The place is yours.
Nice.
So I was like, sick. I literally Venmo'd him the security right there. I was like, there you go, buddy.
Yeah. So this is your first time getting a spot in New York.
Yes. So that was August of 21.
And you moved from where? Ohio?
No, I'm from Syracuse, New York.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, it's okay. It's the Ohio of upstate.
Woke up from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I called it it's somebody compared Syracuse to Cleveland, Ohio. They said it's almost the same town.
That's why I said that.
Yeah. So if anybody in here is living in Cleveland, let me tell you, your town sucks, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I love the Cleveland Browns. They're my favorite team to root for because
Cleveland is stereotypical.
They're just a typical blue collar town, regular.
Yeah.
Just there's nothing great about it. There's a couple of things, but it's just Cleveland. LeBron left twice. That's all you need to know. If your prodigal son is like, I'm gonna leave twice, it's just like maybe he hates you.
Right.
Yeah. It's like a bad stepfather.
Yeah.
But all right. So I'm living in that apartment for a minute. Literally there for 3 months after I move in, and we get a notice from the landlord that he's kicking us out and moving his daughter and her husband into our apartment.
They could just do that?
They could just do that, yeah. There's no squatter's rights on that because it's a year-to-year lease, so they're just like...
But you signed a year lease.
I didn't sign dick. I wasn't on the lease, so I was like, dude, I could literally leave tomorrow if I wanted to.
Right.
But I liked these guys, and I had a good living situation.
Right.
But
the other people did, so how did they get out of it?
The older guy that we live with is like knew that guy, the landlord, on like a personal level. Okay. He was like, just give us the amount of time that we need to like get out of the apartment. He goes, basically give us till January 1st so we can vacate the premises. And the guy was like, yes, you have to the end of the year to get out, basically. So we have a month and a half to find an apartment. Okay. Which is never fun, especially here. So like trying to find the place was crazy. The other thing, too, that I keep forgetting about is we had a fourth roommate in this apartment. Okay. And this dude, the best way I could describe him was like if the human embodiment of PTSD. Like the dude was from I think he was from like Eastern Europe, and he was an aggressive alcoholic. And he would get drunk and then talk about fights he would have with bears in the old country. Okay. He's like, dude, any man comes up to me. He goes, they have no idea what they're dealing with. I used to wrestle bears. I'm like, get the fuck away from me, dude.
He was Ukrainian? Eastern European?
He was Eastern European.
He was something. Okay.
And you could see it. I was like, he had the 1,000-yard stare of like, this is a guy from infancy who was fighting like bear cubs.
He has seen some shit.
Yeah, he looked.
So this is your fourth roommate.
This is my fourth. Okay, and
the place you got to get kicked out of.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Within the week of us finding out that we're getting kicked out, that dude just fucking leaves. Like, just packs all of his shit and is gone.
You know where he went?
I have no idea. I caught him in the hallway as he was like moving stuff. Out of his room. Mm-hmm. I go, where are you going? He goes, I'm moving out, dude. And I go, yeah, but we have to pay rent next month. And he goes, I'm not paying rent. And I'm like, I was like, well, based on the you fighting a bear, I don't think I'm going to ask you for the rent. I'm pretty scared of you, to be honest.
Dude, you have to pay.
I'm actually very scared of you. So
he'll square up on you, bro.
I couldn't be more scared of a person. Like, so did
he have an accent?
No,
I'm not paying the rent.
A little bit. That's the thing, is that I felt like it like, was in and out,
like Soviet bloc. Like
he was a normal guy, but like once he got a couple of drinks in him, he's just like, I'll fucking kill you with everything in my being. And I'm like, oh god, oh no, this guy fights bears, dude. Yeah. So he just left. So I had to like explain to my roommates, like, hey, the fourth just left.
So we got to pool together the extra
Yeah.
money?
So like, what do we do? And luckily, like, this is when I was like, all right, I think we have a great like situation with this older guy because he's like, I called the landlord, explained to him the situation. He said he's just going to take rent from us 3.
Right.
That's it. And then we just leave. And I was like, I don't know what kind of magic you speak, but you're a good person. Yeah. I can already tell you're a good guy.
Right.
I was like, and I'd love to continue to live with somebody like this because you're a good person. So we basically, the 3 of us were like, we got to find a place. And we got down to like the 25th hour. We had to find a place in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we had our first place we looked at fell through, which is a bummer. But then my other roommate found a place on Craigslist, and I was like, I'm not in love with that, but it was actually a pretty decent enough apartment, and they didn't do like any checks on us. So they're like, just give us enough money to cover first and second, and we all did, and we moved into the place at the end of the month. So and that's where I live now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good enough.
It's a perfectly fine apartment.
Yeah. Yeah. So it feels like controlled chaos. Like, okay, so a lot of people that aren't that are listening like haven't lived here in New York. Like if they're from South Carolina or whatever, what up? Shout out. But it was similar for us. It's just like we had no idea what to look for. Or
you have no idea. Like like when you
big. Wait, now you living in Syracuse, did you know a lot about the city before you came?
Yeah, like I was born in New Jersey.
Okay,
I'm originally from New Jersey, and we used to do kind of like. If we weren't going down to the Jersey Shore, we would like pop into the city for like a few days. Yeah. So I've done like the whole rigmarole of the city, like the Statue of Liberty, and I've done all the touristy stuff. And so the city wasn't like foreign to me. The most foreign part of the city was like figuring out how to live here. Yeah. Like understanding the trains and how everything operates.
And now nothing's gonna be perfect.
Nothing. No.
So you just gotta say like, fuck it. We'll just.
I also like
we'll do it.
I was never the type of person to have like that like the I don't know what the right word is, like to have that glimmer in my eye when I first got here.
You didn't have the optimism.
I didn't have like that.
You didn't have the romantic
I didn't have that like Midwestern girl who hops off the bus and is just like, the city is my dreams. Like I was
have that, dude.
No, dude, you need to cut that out right now. Like it's okay to be fun and have a good time, but like don't fall in love with this place too much. I think you treat it like
Zach's like, this is not that great here, dude.
No, it's great. No, dude, New York City legitimately is the greatest city in the world. For every it literally has everything within like a 10-mile radius. Like you have everything that you need. You also have so many horrible people and you have to navigate through. Yeah. And it's just, and there's so many different walks. There's just like entitled finance people and then just these influx of horrible homeless people. And like, they're not, horrible's a tough word.
The subway grifters. You got a couple stories.
I do have a subway grifter story. I do love, I love the N train haggler. He's one
Could you explain to people who have not been on the subway often about what this vibe is?
The vibe of the subway is basically.
You talked about the guys coming between the cars. I remember.
Yeah. So
as part of your bit, I've heard.
Yeah. I don't want to run bits on this.
Don't burn the bit.
No, it's fucking great. Why would I do that?
Paint a picture for the folks.
Yeah. So riding the train in New York is kind of like your first day on the job every day. I feel like you have to kind of like navigate all these different people and understand like where they're coming from. And then like it's just a bunch of like train cars that have emergency door in the middle of all of them.
Right.
And the funniest part of it is that there's a giant sign on every door that says, "Yo, don't open this."
Right.
When the train is in motion. Yeah, and it just there's like, you could fall through the cracks and die. Everybody goes through the middle door. I've done it before too.
Okay,
yeah,
I haven't gone through the middle door.
I've gone through
yet.
the middle doors to get away from a weird guy that fell asleep on me. Like, I was like, the train's in motion, but I don't want.
What happened? He was sleeping on you, and were you close to the door, like on this side, and you just like slunk away?
I was going to do a show in the Lower East Side, and I was we were like I think we were at like 28th Street, and I'm just sitting there minding my own business, and a dude with a half ripped sweatpant leg walks in. I go, all right. So he's not going to be cool, obviously. Can't be the coolest guy I've ever met.
Wait, you judged him because of half ripped sweatpants, like?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I mean, they were half ripped sweatpants.
He's obviously a piece of shit.
No, he's not I don't think he was a piece of shit, but I just knew he wasn't going to be a fun hang.
Okay,
like he wasn't going to be like the coolest.
Yeah.
So
I'm kidding. Fuck that guy, bro.
No, I'm sure he's doing great. Wherever he's fallen asleep on the sidewalk, I'm sure he's doing fine.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. I'm just like running bits, just like looking over my notes. And the dude just sits next to me, and I'm like, all right, I'll just hang. That's fine. I mean, whatever. And then he just fucking conks out on me. Just falls right asleep.
Okay.
And I go, dude, what the fuck? And he goes, what? Huh? And I'm like, dude, I was like, fucking get away from me. And he goes, man, what? Leave me alone. And I'm like, all right. So I just got up and I just walked right through the middle car. Because I was like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I had to get off in like 2 stops, so it wasn't like that big of a deal. But I was like, And that was within like the first 4 months. And I was like, okay, this is fun. I just got to get used to this now.
Yeah. The etiquette on the subway is interesting. I don't know. I noticed it's similar to an elevator. And you get off the stop, you have to walk. They let people off before you get on.
Yeah.
Nobody makes eye contact with anyone.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love
you
that.
like that?
I absolutely
Dude,
love it.
Everybody's so cold towards one another.
Love that.
I'm like...
I don't... Dude, I've had...
People look so dead inside on the subway.
My least favorite thing on the subway is when a group of young kids get on that are like having a night of partying and they just start like just screaming.
Oh, I don't like that.
But they add nothing to society. All they do is just talk about bullshit.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, I'm so drunk, dude. I did all these shots. And then this girl is just like, oh my God, Instagram. And I'm just like, oh, kill yourself, dude.
Sure.
Like, just, I hate you.
And
but
they don't have any frame of reference for how loud they're being.
No frame of reference. They're young and I'm hot and everything's fine. Like, they are the epitome of just dad pays my rent. And I know enough people like that where it's like some of them are cool. Like my dad pays my rent, but at least I'm a cool person. Then there's people that are just like my dad pays my rent and it's my entire identity. And I'm like, ugh, I hate that so much.
And there's some I feel that are real bougie. Like they live in real nice parts of town. Mm-hmm. They're floating them big red checks from daddy.
I went to an NYU party mistakenly because my buddy was hooking up with this girl. And I was like, well, she goes to NYU. He goes, she's a grad student. And I was like, that doesn't make me feel any better.
Why is it better, grad student? Just
because she was older. She was older. She was like in her mid-20s.
I see.
So I was like, all right, I guess that's fine. But I go to this party and there's fucking kids there. Like there's like 18, 19-year-old people. And I'm just
did you have fun?
No, there was no common ground. Like I went downstairs to smoke a joint. This girl was like standing outside. She goes, are you at the party in 5C? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, how's the vibe? And I'm like, I was like, immaculate.
Good vibe.
I said the vibes were immaculate. She goes, are you smoking weed? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, do you have any more? And I was just like, I don't. This is just for me.
How old was this girl?
Probably 19. Probably. And she goes, I'm going to go upstairs and find some weed. And I go, fine. Go ahead, dude.
Dude, could you give me invites to these?
No, I never will go back. As soon as my buddy broke up with that girl, I was like, thank God, dude. Yeah. I can't handle... There's a median age for me now. Like, I gotta hang out with somebody that's like at least in their mid to late 20s.
Late 20s.
That understands that has a little life on them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. A little experience.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of there's so many comics that are just so young nowadays, and there's some of them are great. Mm-hmm. And it's I have a hard time trying to like have a casual conversation with a young guy.
Yeah.
Because all they want to talk about is just like their views and like how I'm doing on TikTok, and I'm just like
their views.
Yeah, like they're
not
like,
their opinions,
not their opinions, their views online,
view
like how many views. Which I like that just as much as the next guy, but it's like, but dude, like how are you as a person feeling? Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Like,
how's your soul?
Yeah, like you're a young guy. There's a lot going through your mind right now.
Yeah.
Like the society has built you into a robot. Yeah. So, I mean, are you hanging in there?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to make it? Mm-hmm. And some dudes, like, I went to a show where a kid was just trying to sell me on his podcast the other night. And I was just like, don't do
What
that.
An asshole.
I was like, please don't do
that. Who
that.
does a podcast?
Please don't. No, I don't.
Oh, he's trying to sell you on it. How so? Like to watch, to be a viewer?
He goes, hey man, can you go on my Spotify real quick and can you subscribe to my podcast? And then he like gives me the synopsis of the podcast, and I go, you know,
well, that's kind of cool. He's excited about it.
He didn't even introduce himself to me. That's how he started the conversation.
He didn't care who you were.
No.
You're just
He didn't even say, hello, my name is. He goes, dude, subscribe to my podcast. I was like, I'm Zach. Nice to meet you.
You're
Like,
just another warm body for him to like just milk.
I mean, dude, for real. He's just like trying to suck the views out of me. Like, get your eyeballs on my product.
What was the podcast?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention. Dude, I get pretty out on people quickly if they're like, they don't even introduce themselves to me. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
I just need you to be a real person for 5 minutes.
For sure.
And then tell me about your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you sell your people on your comedy that way?
On my comedy?
Yeah. Do you ever be like, dude, I'm a comedian. Pull up your Instagram right now. Follow me.
No. I have a conversation with them first. And then usually they're the type of person to be like, hey, do you want to follow each other on Instagram? And I go, yeah.
Not for another comic, but for like a fan. A normal
Yeah.
fan.
No, usually it's like I'll have a conversation with like a person. I like how you say fan. I have how
many fans do you have?
I'm on onlyfan.com. It's a new website where it's just me and my only fan have a conversation about
me talking to myself.
Yeah. No, it's probably like one of my brother's friends.
Yeah.
They're nice people, but let me think. So yeah, it's the dynamic is always weird. But like if somebody comes up to me after a show and they're like, "Can I follow you?" I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little tough. I got a weird last name, so it's always like tough for me to show people. They're like, "How do you say that?" And I'm just
pronounce
like,
it.
"Weren't you at the show? Didn't you hear them say it on stage?"
Yeah.
It's Koscuik. And it's spelled Koscuik. Like you would
Koscuik.
Yeah. It's in hindsight it's easy
Koscuik.
once you say it a couple of times. But meet somebody for the first time, or it's like a first time producer, and they try and say your name, and they're just like, "Yeah, give it up for Zach." It's like I kind of have fun with it at this point.
For sure.
When someone's like trying to say my name, and I'm just like, I'm not going to help them.
Yeah.
I want to see how they do.
Yeah.
And it's only happened on a couple of rare occasions where somebody got it right.
For sure.
And I'm like, did you take like European studies or something? Like something must have happened where you like knew what to do. And they're just like, no, I understand the dialect and, the vowels. And I'm like, all right, cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
Koscuik.
Yeah.
Zach Koscuik. 2 years in New York.
Yeah, buddy.
So how do you feel, dude? 2 years in New York.
2 years in New York.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Happy, Cape? You feel good?
You're
a full-time comedian at the moment.
Yeah, if anyone's hiring, let me know. I have an extensive background in marketing and PR.
Yeah.
I think that I mean, technically, yes. I mean, it's been cool because recently it's been just a lot of trial and error of like what makes me happy, and comedy is the number one thing. Always.
Right.
It's always the thing where if I don't do it, I get sad.
Right.
So that's a big trigger for my mental health.
Sure.
Which is
so being here, being able to do comedy as much
every night,
as much as you want.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly what my scatter brain needs. I'm all over the place.
Right.
So I need something that is comedy's the perfect thing for consolidating your thoughts and consolidating your schedule.
Right.
So I can say all the things that I want to say, but basically my brain is all over the place. So I'll just be like, let's just get a thought out there.
Right.
And then let's consolidate the thought.
But you have the constraint of the time of the set.
Correct.
And then you have the schedule of when the set's going to take
Exactly.
place.
So
and then you got your week planned out.
It's perfect for my brain.
And then you just string a few of those weeks and months and years together, and then you die.
And then you string a few of those months and weeks together, and then everyone forgets you and you die.
And that's why we're here.
That's why
we came.
Did you just see me almost eat shit on this handle? I like went to adjust my arm, and I was just like, that's not anything.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's a good chair. That's the one piece.
It's a nice
of furniture
chair. I love a swivel chair. My grandmother had the chair just like this, and you would always know she was in a bad mood when she was knitting, and it was rolling back and forth like this.
Yeah, she had a lot of anxiety when it was rocking.
You just knew that like if we had a family gathering and she was just over it, she would just go into the chair and just knit.
Yeah.
And then just rock back and forth, and I'm just like, "What's up?" And she goes, "Your fucking father." And I'm like, "Don't I know it? Don't I know it?
Your fucking father.
Don't I know it? That guy's a rough piece of work. Let me tell you.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so Syracuse before New York.
Yep.
So how many years in comedy total?
3.5 roughly. The COVID year I don't think counts.
Okay.
I did maybe I did mostly virtual comedy, and by mostly I mean I did 2 Zoom comedy shows, and both were so atrocious. And I was like, I am swearing off doing comedy until this thing is over.
Yeah.
So
you were doing comedy a year and a half outside of New York before
basically,
moving here?
yeah.
Where was that?
All around upstate New York.
All around Syracuse and upstate.
Syracuse had a couple of like decent little places to like do open mics and shows.
Mm-hmm.
I was between Buffalo and Albany a lot, mostly Albany. I knew a few comics there, and they were able to like set me up with some little show opportunities, little like hosting occasional club spot. Nothing like crazy. I was going up there maybe once a month.
Yeah.
Total. And then I go.
You were getting up on stage once a month, or
up on a show,
on a show,
open mic. I was trying to go almost every night. I was trying to do an open mic.
Okay, so they had mics in the upstate,
and I was going
like once a night, every night of the week.
Everywhere though, like Syracuse maybe had 2 a week.
Oh, so you had to drive?
Yeah. So I drove. So I was driving 4 hours total, almost on like a Thursday night, while having to get up and do a day job the next morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was driving to Albany to do a 5-minute open mic.
Yep.
So could you imagine going up there and eating a bag of shit and then driving back 2 hours?
Oh, dude, I can imagine. That's the South Carolina grind.
The worst, dude.
There's a couple mics. You got to drive a couple hours.
I bombed so hard at an open mic in Albany that I got in the car and I had a joint rolled and I was just gonna like smoke it when I got home. So I was like, all right, here, that's like the victory cigar, basically. I smoked it in the car on the way home, and I start white knuckling the wheel as I'm driving because I'm like, I am I'm too high to be driving this car right now.
Did the joint even make you feel better, or would you?
No, dude, it was just every bit of anxiety came pouring out of me, and I'm like, this isn't good at all. Like I'm gonna. And not to mention too, like all of the paranoia from like I'm too high to be driving.
Right.
On top of it, I'm like, well, I guess this is God's way of saying Jesus will take the wheel on this one.
Right.
We'll see what happens. And I made it home and in one piece, and I had to go to work the next morning. And my boss was even like, he's like, you look run down and tired. And I was like, don't even go there right now, man.
Don't mess with me.
I haven't processed this yet.
Don't mess with me. Yeah.
I haven't processed this,
dude. A man after he bombs is a dangerous man.
Depends. It depends on who it is. Like. I
mean,
as a frequent bomber, let me tell you.
Me too, dude.
You have to, if you get a new joke and it goes well the first time, there's this new confidence that I think is so unearned, especially for me. Like if a new joke works, I go, that's a fluke. That'll never happen again.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm like, the reason that worked was the energy I delivered it with.
Energy.
Not
always.
good. I didn't deserve it.
Yeah. Amazing how this open mic room has no energy. Oh no, who would have thunk it? But still, like right now I mean, comedy's so fun, and if you just got to keep having fun.
Yes,
I have such a hard time.
Comedy is fun.
Comedy is fun. It really is.
Comedy's so fun.
I love talking about weird shit, and I like making somebody a little uncomfortable when I say something, and I'm just like, you like that? Yeah. So. Yeah.
But I do think a man after he bombs can be like.
I've had to talk some people
like, dude,
I've had to talk some people off the edge before.
I mean, I won't be like hostile to anyone.
Yeah.
But like if somebody else fucks with me unrelated, who's like, and like something gets on, I'd be like, bro.
Yeah. What the fuck, man?
What is going? I am so pissed off right now.
Yeah.
Now is not the time. Like,
I hate.
Like if a meter maid tried to give me a parking ticket right after I bombed, I would be like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Like I would not be chill about it. I would be like, all self-hatred just projected outward.
Oh, of course,
at
dude.
Someone.
Yeah,
you need to be alone after you bomb.
I actually don't believe that anymore. I used to be the type of guy that's just like, I will leave a room if I bomb too hard. But then I like with open mics, it's like
stay in it.
Just live in it. You got to live in it a little bit and learn from the mistake.
Yeah.
Why didn't that work? Or if it's like a joke you believe in and it doesn't work, but you've seen it work like 3 other times before, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So what is there a delivery issue there? Do I have to add something?
Yeah.
Do I have to take something out?
Did I do something wrong to not connect in the first place?
Exactly. Yeah. Am I relatable? Like,
am I likable? What?
I think I
called them all cunts before I went on. I don't know why that.
That's always a bad. I had a buddy, one of my really good friends in stand-up. He's fucking hilarious. But he one night he was having a rough set, and it's jokes that typically always work. and he's about halfway through like a 10-minute set, and he just looks at the crowd and he goes, y'all are just being not nice. Yeah. I was like, that's a really nice way of not being too mean.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really nice way of consolidating your angry thoughts and just say, instead of saying exactly how you feel, he's just like, y'all are just being not nice right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And it did open them up a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was like a learning experience for me, because I'm like,
you
can be a little bitter and be a little angry, but like, don't turn on them. because they're gonna carry you the rest of the way. Like, if you need them.
Right.
They're they are comedy. Like, you need these people. So
to me, a nudge to get them like, having fun.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys, lose it up. Like, fun? You guys are good. Like,
sometimes people just
don't totally turn.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't want to have fun. If they don't want to have a good time, they won't.
Yeah. Well, it's always too. You also, and I'm trying to get better about reading a room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see a guy that like it looks like he's maybe just had too much to drink, or like him and his girl just had a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've had shows where I've walked in and I could just like see a couple to the left, and like she is just arms folded and he is just pounding through his phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they just got in a fight.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes of them sitting down.
And you could tell?
You could just see it.
Yeah.
The energy was taken out of them. So I was
then what do? Do you ask them about it?
I didn't. I just went to the other side of the room.
I'd be like, what's going on?
I was like, well, they seem like they're having
just got in a fight, didn't you?
Yeah, it looks like you guys are having a shit time. Let's go to the happier side of the room. Like,
no, let's talk about it. Let's get it out. Let's get it all out right now.
Sometimes I just like to poke the bear when it comes to that situation, though. If somebody's just like not smiling, I go, what happened? Like,
are you doing okay?
You guys doing all right? You guys want to, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Yes.
What did he fight you about? Is he going through too many Instagram models? Huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Joke's on you. I don't even have. No, I have Instagram. I'm fully addicted to Instagram.
Follow him at Zach Koscuik.
Yeah, please follow me at Zach Koscuik. It's Koscuik.
Yeah, it'll be on the screen here. Follow Zach Koscuik.
Perfect. Yeah.
Sometimes when you bomb, I don't know. I've had it feel where like the audience is being deliberately mean. Like the guy said, like the audience conspired to not like me.
Yeah.
Like, somehow they all told each other to not. It feels like that.
Like, they're just like, as soon as David gets up, let's fold our arms.
Yeah, they make a collective decision. Fuck this guy.
Let's give this man nothing. This guy sucks.
It's unsaid, but like everybody kind of picks up on the same vibe that's what we're doing.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Yeah, they have to. It's a lot of it's so fun though sometimes when you can get a bad audience on your side.
Oh yeah.
Like that's happened. It's only happened to me on a couple of occasions, but I remember I did a show within like my first couple of months in New York, and nobody was doing well. And it was like one of those long scale bringer type of shows. And I'm just like, damn, even the people they brought hate you. That sucks. That sucks, dude. Even your family and friends hate you. That is shitty. So I brought like a couple of people, and I went up and I was just very, very just like, I'll do some jokes, but there's gonna be a lot of just kind of living in the moment of it. And I did a joke up top about it was a basketball joke, but the reference of it being the fact that like we're my hometown in Syracuse, we invented the 24-second shot clock in basketball, which is true. Yeah, which is one of the most important
fun fact about Syracuse.
One of the most important inventions in the history of sports. And it did so many different...
It is, right?
Really, yeah.
It made the flow of basketball, actually.
Well, it sped up the rate of the game, because instead of games being like 16-10, they got better. And the joke basically is, and truly the best part of that invention was it ran almost all of the white guys off of the floor. Which I believe is the most important part of basketball now.
Because fuck white people.
And there was a guy, there was a humongous black guy in the back of the room, and he laughed so loud that he carried the rest of the crowd. Yeah. And I'm just like, this guy gets it. Yeah. And then I saw him after the show. Guy's like 6'8", fucking humongous. Yeah. And he goes, yo, man, that was real funny about the basketball shit. And I was just like, yeah. I was like, now go dunk on somebody. Yeah.
Hmm.
But shit like that's so fun to me.
Yeah, you turned around a bad crowd.
There's nothing better than a black guy compliment either.
Dude, no.
I long for
I
those.
totally agree. A black guy calling you funny is like the best thing. And they don't just say you're funny. They'll say,
dude, I almost...
Dave, you stupid, man.
Yeah. You crazy, dog.
Stupid, man.
You crazy.
I'm like, yes, dude.
Dude, honestly, that's the closest I can get to busting. Is just a black guy giving me a compliment. I was like, oh, shit, I got to go home and change. This dude just made me bust. That's crazy. Yeah, it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
What's your least favorite part about New York?
Fucking the rest of it. It's so
everything.
There's so many people, dude. It's so hot. It's 95 degrees outside right now.
Yeah. How you doing with the AC here, by the way?
I feel fine.
You feel okay? The AC is supposed to be coming in from.
No,
there,
I learned early that I always pack a second shirt. That's you guys want to know what summers are like in New York? Pack extra clothes. That's summers in New York.
Yeah, and you got a backpack. Right?
A backpack. It's
gotta have a backpack.
Backpack with extra clothes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll pack my own meals if I don't want to like go, because I got in a bad habit of just you're out late every night, so it's just the easiest thing to do is just to get like shitty fast food.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And
that's exactly what I'm doing.
And I gotta stop because I got some like stomach stuff, so I been getting in the habit of like packing. And like today, truthfully, I was like gonna run to the grocery store and like do everything I needed to do, but I woke up just not feeling good.
Yeah.
Just my stomach was just like, not today, dog. So I just settled down, chilled out, and smoked a joint. Just relaxed, vibed out. Collected my thoughts.
Yeah.
But
it is definitely an adjustment. I got my backpack. That was my first purchase as a New York resident, and makes you feel better when you got your chargers, you got your tripod, you got a notebook, you got stuff you need.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I've yet to pack any food though. I'm eating atrociously, and I'm actually loving it.
It's so convenient.
It is.
And the
food, like every food you could want.
And the food rules. Like every
all hours of the night.
All the food is great.
Yeah.
Food trucks just getting the crazy good like
Did you get the shawarma food trucks? The halal?
Hell yeah, dude. Of course. Yeah. I can tell you the best ones at this point. Like I've ranked them.
Yeah.
There's some real good ones, especially we live in Astoria, so Queens is the quintessential melting pot of New York City.
Yeah, tell people about Queens.
Because
somebody told me a stat about how there's like more languages spoken per capita in Astoria and Queens than almost anywhere else in the world.
Yep. Queens also has basically each part of Queens is like really broken up. Astoria is the melting pot. It's mostly obviously huge Greek influence, a ton of just every culture. Like on my block alone, there is a great Italian deli, a Eastern European place, and a like upscale Chinese joint, and they're all amazing.
Yeah.
And then adjacent to that is a kick-ass sports bar with the best wings in town. Like it's everything.
Yep.
So it just has like all these different walks of life. But then if you go deeper into Queens and you go into like Flushing or like even into like Forest Hills has like a big like Middle Eastern population, and they have these like crazy food markets where you can get these pre-made meals, and the food is just so good.
Yeah.
And Flushing has a ton of Korean influence, so the Korean food rules. I mean, it's hard. It's funny because I am so skinny, and it's like, and I do eat. This is the beauty of having a autoimmune condition. This is it right here. Like you just eat like a bag of shit, and you just stay skinny. Like.
Yeah.
But,
Crohn's?
Crohn's, yeah.
We don't have to talk about that. By the way.
Do you guys want to do WebMD podcast? Let's do it.
No, that is tough. But yeah, so you like Queens? You like the area? Do you see yourself staying in Queens indefinitely, or is there another part of New
I'm
York
open
that you'd
to
be
like
open to?
I'm open to anything, man. Like I love Astoria. It's just the travel aspect. It's a little tough because there is. I mean, as far as you doing stand up, getting into Manhattan, like you have to plan for like every train ride to be 45 minutes. Yep, at least. Yep. So you
gotta leave an hour before.
You gotta be least. So your scheduling and preparedness is like very important. And then my biggest thing is just knowing where I'm going before I leave. Like that's my big thing now.
Dude, I'm glad you're not the only person.
Yeah, Because I like
I've absolutely felt this.
I literally will do this. I'll get on like Google Maps or whatever, and I'll like map out every place I'm hitting for the night, and then I'm totaling the amount of time it's going to take to get to every location. Yeah.
And is it depressing how long it's going to take?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like it's your whole night. Like
it's
you can
like,
leave. You know,
it goes from
o'clock.
like I was like, this is only 4 miles away. This should only take like 25 minutes tops.
It's
an
hour to Brooklyn.
hour and 10 minutes.
It's
I'm
an
like, get
hour
the
plus
fuck
to
out
Brooklyn by subway.
It's awful, but. Again,
actually, maybe as somebody who's lived here, do you know if there's any discussions about adding a subway route that goes from Queens straight to Brooklyn?
No.
Because you have to go.
There is one. There's the G line. The G line runs from Long Island City into like Williamsburg, and then goes into I think just like the small parts of like Bed-Stuy. But that's it. I mean, this is just New York, baby. I mean, this is just New York. New York is the best inconvenience you could ever have. Like it's never easy to get around, but it's worth it. It's worth getting around.
I guess everybody just agreed that it's worth it.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, but this is a great city. There's there's a lot of shit to do.
Yeah,
you know, it's worth it. Worth the trip.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to figure it all out. But how long you been here now? You've been here
3 weeks.
You only been here for 3 weeks, dude. I feel like you guys have been here for like. I thought you've been here for at least like 2 months already.
Really?
Yeah.
No, 4th of July was like...
It's true. You do have way too much excitement in your eyes. The city hasn't shit on you yet a little.
Well, I guess, I mean, this might be a month almost. I wasn't here for the week of the 4th of July and then after that, so... Yeah.
You guys got a decent little spot, though. This is a nice place.
Yeah, thank you.
It works.
Thank you. Yeah, we have 3-bedroom and... like we said before, the walk-up aspect is... did not realize how shitty it was.
It's an eye-opener, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, when somebody's just like... I got a buddy who lives on the 8th floor of a walk-up in Harlem.
Oh, my gosh.
And he's like, you want to come over and do my podcast one day? And I was like, I don't know, dude. Like That's a literal workout.
8 flights?
I did. I took the 8 flights up, and thank God it was during like the spring, so it wasn't 1,000 degrees. But
yeah,
I was like, holy shit, dude. I was like, any plans on moving? He goes, no, I think we're gonna re-up our lease. And I'm like, get the hell out of here.
They like don't want to leave.
Don't want to get the stuff out. Away from me.
I mean, they tell you about it in advance, so you're like, okay, 5 flights, no big deal. We'll just, we'll work with it, and it'll be one hard day of moving stuff up, because we didn't hire movers. We were like just running stuff up and down the steps.
Oh, I do not envy you at all.
Dude, that thing, the TV stand, was the hardest. Because that thing is not light.
It looks a little cumbersome.
We needed a guy to help. It was me and another guy, and we were just like...
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't care if it got scuffed up. By the time, like, you care less and less about your possessions as you get up the steps. So you're like, fuck it. Like, I do not care. Like, I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I've just always got into my head that shit breaks when you move. Yeah. So I always say. I'm just like, hey, dude, shit breaks when you move.
Yeah.
So you just got to be prepared for it to break.
I would rather just buy new shit when I get wherever I'm going.
Yeah. I think it's a better to have the mentality to be like, hey, not only are you moving, but you're probably going to lose some stuff in the process. Just be prepared for that.
Yes.
Like it's all mindset with moving, because it does suck, but you make it so much worse if you like try to like bubble wrap everything properly and you try to like make sure none of the edges get cracked. It's like, dude, something is going to break.
For sure.
It's a part of it.
And then when it gets here, you get mad because you got to like unwrap every little thing that you bubble wrapped. It's a pain in the ass. Moving sucks. Moving's terrible. I'm glad it's mostly over.
Yeah, I mean, inevitably there will be another move in your guys' future for sure.
Yep.
I mean, I've had 2. I mean, technically 1, I guess, but 2 within 2 years. Getting here and then moving to the other place. And I'm not really sure. The dynamics of our household is a little weird right now because the older gentleman that lives with us moved in his wife, who just showed up at our doorstep.
The Korean guy moved in his wife?
He's Singaporean. Be careful. There's a lot. Be careful. There's a lot of them out there. You're going to get some hate speech in those comments.
Singaporean. Okay.
People would be like, none of us look the same. We're different people.
George Costanza?
Jerry, there's so many of them. I can't tell which for which. And Kramer comes in and says something racist inevitably.
Yes.
Jerry, can you believe how many are? Can you believe how many of them there are?
Singaporean. Jerry, you gotta... Jerry.
Jerry, I went down to Chinatown. There's so many of them.
Yeah. Okay. Fucking. Okay, so
Oh god.
the Singaporean,
Yes,
is that the right word?
I believe so. He's not sure as hell not Korean. Yes, he's from Singapore.
He brought his wife.
Yeah, dude. Randomly, like
Now you got people in the place.
Yeah, so it was 3 or 4 months ago now. 3 or 4 months ago, I think. Now I was just making coffee, like shaking off the cobwebs from just the night that was, and he approaches me in the kitchen. He's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I'm to be married." And I go, "Oh," I go, "Awesome, dude! Congratulations."
I'm engaged.
Yeah, he's like, she's gonna be coming to live with us, and I go, okay, sick. And I go, like, soon? He goes, yeah, she'll be here pretty soon. And I go, all right. So like 4 days go by, and then again, I wake up in the morning, I open the door, and it just like look down the hallway, and there's this adorable little Vietnamese woman just in our kitchen, and I'm like, I guess there she is. I guess she's here now. So I'm like,
I'm picturing you reacting to this.
Yeah, I'm just like,
you're like, hello.
And like it was funny because she saw me and then she started like walking towards me like we were gonna like introduce ourselves, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, and I just beeline to the bathroom.
Does she speak English?
Very broken.
Very broken.
Yeah, she's. I'll get into it more. But this is my favorite story right now. So so I accidentally meet her. We have some pleasantries like after I get out of the bathroom. I'm just like, hi, welcome to our home. I guess it's your home now.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of go about my day. And then like 2 more days later, again, I wake up in the morning and I just see her walking down the hallway in a white dress. And I go, oh shit, are they getting married right now? And then I look into the living room and there he is in a full suit, and they have a tablet propped up on a desk. And I'm like, holy shit, they're doing a Zoom wedding right now. And I said, fuck. I said, I think I just officiated it because I'm here. Like, I was like,
dude, that's
am I
romantic? That's cool.
Am I the witness? Am I the witness?
Yeah.
So
how many people were on the Zoom call? Do they have like all
I don't know, dude. I like
back
as soon as I saw it, I was like, I wasn't invited to the wedding, so I just went went back in my room. So
dude, crazy shit you see in New York. You see a Singaporean
man
wedding.
marry a Vietnamese woman legitimately off the boat from Vietnam.
Yeah.
So she's lovely, but her biggest thing is that she used to own restaurants in Vietnam. So she's cooking all of the time.
Okay.
I mean, night until day. She was dude.
She making food for the apartment? You eating?
She'll always ask me if I want something,
yeah.
and I've taken her up on the offer a couple of times. Food is bomb. It's so good.
Yeah.
I just can't eat it all the time.
Right.
But I remember one night I got home from a spot in New York, in the city, and it's like 1:30 in the morning when I got in. She's baking a cake, like a whole ass cake, at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And she's like fanning it down to like keep it from rising too much. And I'm just like, hi. She goes, I make cake. And I go, I see you're making cake. She goes, I leave a piece for you. And I go, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. I said, it is almost 2 a.m. I just thought I don't think you know what that. And then, dude, like 7:30 in the morning, she's fucking up again cooking. Yeah. I'm just like, this woman doesn't sleep.
Wow.
This is insane.
Wow.
Or she's on a different sleep schedule that I have no idea when she sleeps.
You gotta find a lady like that. That's amazing. Not that you have to cook all the time, ladies. Don't want to be.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
You could spend all that time at the office.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want you to assume that you have to cook for me every night, but would be pretty.
You could also be earning us money at home.
Could be doing OnlyFans like an adult.
As long as you're working, really. Is the no.
Just out here trying to show whole, making an honest living.
No, whatever you want to do is great.
Yeah,
but,
I think sex work is actually one of the most like beneficial types of work for an individual because it helps not only with their confidence but also like it makes people come, and that's great. Isn't that great?
It is great.
Isn't that awesome?
The phrase sex work is something that I'm learning and integrating.
Making people come, dude. It's very important.
Yeah, it's just working with sex and just it's just
the way you described it. You sounded like a lifeguard at a pool. It's like when you work, but it's also sex.
It's the nature of the work.
It's
the sex.
Sex work.
Sex work.
You know?
Work sex.
Yeah.
It's
don't go into the deep end, kids.
Yeah. Work sex. Do you want to get married?
Oh wow, that's a fucking transition.
Yeah. We're talking about a wife. Do you want to get married?
I was engaged actually, so spicy.
We'll talk about this.
Yeah, we can talk about it. Sure, I've processed.
Yeah.
I was with a girl back home for almost 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
From when to when? From what age to what age?
25 to 30, 24 to 30.
Wow.
Yeah. So
this is pretty recent before the move.
Yeah.
And switch to.
Yep. So we were together for a while. It was like the first person that I was like, oh, I could see this like going somewhere.
Yeah.
I feel like I was finally dealing with an adult. Like all the other like relationships I was having were just like I was young and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you were like partners.
Sure. Yeah. And that became kind of the downfall was the partnership started turning into like friendship. Where I was just like, oh, I think I'm just like living with one of my boys right now.
So the spark,
within like the first, when we lived together our first apartment, things were starting to fizzle. And then like we bought a house together and took the commitment. Yeah, I know what a mortgage is. What up? Like you guys. Yeah, I'm a very well-rounded individual. I put that on my profiles for dating now.
Yeah, dude.
I pay my taxes.
I pay my taxes, bitch.
So we were, everything was going on. So we dated.
So how long into the relationship had you gotten the apartment and then the mortgage?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years into the relationship, we bought a house together. Wow. And that was the big step because I was like,
this was looking like marriage all the way.
It was
the momentum towards that.
And then
4 years in your late 20s.
Yeah, and then 2020 came and we got trapped in the house together and we had to look at each other every day and try to coexist. And I was like, I think we both kind of like had that moment where we looked at each other and we're like, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Hate you.
Not even hate. There was no hate. There was just not love.
Good.
You know what I mean? Like when you fall out of love with somebody, it's like,
yeah,
you don't resent them or hate them. From that perspective, like I was just like, I just want this person to kind of be free to do what they want.
Yeah.
So stupidly, right as 2020 was ending, I proposed to her because I was like, I got into my head a lot during the pandemic.
Sure.
I was very depressed. I was,
because you didn't know if
I was doing a lot of cry for help bullshit.
Yeah.
Like saying I was gonna like hurt myself and stuff like that. And
fuck.
Yeah. And I wasn't.
Were you doing stand-up at this point?
I just had gotten back in.
Yeah.
So I did stand-up when I was a little younger, but like really hit it again when I was like 28, 29. That was like when I feel like I lived some life and had some things to talk about.
Yeah.
So right when we got out of the pandemic, we got engaged. This is I talk about it on stage, but we actually went away with some friends to like a lake house for New Year's Eve. And it was like the first thing that we all could do kind of like during the pandemic. They were letting us like get a group of people together in one house.
Right. This is 2020 to 2021.
This was literally New Year's Eve. We got engaged on New Year's Eve of 2020. So, and it was super nice. Like it was like at a vineyard in upstate New York, pretty like lake water. Right. It was really nice.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, this is going to be best place to do it. So we did it and it was like a great weekend. Like all of my friends were there. We were hanging out. And then within the first month of being engaged and being back at home and kind of being like, this is for real.
Yeah.
All the same thoughts came over me again, where I'm like, I don't think this is going to work. And I think she felt the same way because we started kind of talking about like dates and stuff like that. And she was like, I don't know when we would actually get married. And I was just like, maybe never. Like maybe we won't. And then within 2 months we broke up.
Holy
officially. Like,
shit. Once the never was out of the bag, like
it was like maybe that won't happen. But truly the funniest part was we were legitimately engaged for 90 days. So I'm a literal 90-day fiance.
90 days longer than me, bro.
Pretty good. Didn't even need a green card for that. Yeah. No papers, no nothing. So you know what the funniest part? The funniest part about breaking off an engagement, but then breaking up with somebody when you own like an asset, like a house and stuff like that, is you have to go to a lawyer's office and just like make sure that everybody gets like their cut of like when you sell the house and all the things like that. And when we got the house sold, we went to like the real estate lawyer, and he walked in and he goes, "You guys buying another house together?" And we're like, "No." We're just selling this one. He goes, "What are you guys doing?" He's like, or I was like, we're breaking up." Like this is not happening.
What did this person say?
And he goes, "Huh." He goes, "I've had a lot of like divorced couples like come into my office, and you guys are by far the most cordial I've ever seen." Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, dude, I don't hate her. We just don't love each other anymore." I hope that she's doing well.
I genuinely wish her the best.
I genuinely wish that she's doing well. Still to this day, I think she's a great person. Really. Yeah. I hope everything is great.
Isn't that weird how it can just...
How just the dynamic...
Yeah. Yeah. You can just lose it.
I know. What
the fuck? Yeah.
No. I think there's a little mental illness there for sure. There's some stuff going on, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, she was great. She was a great person. But, like, I just felt like I just made, like, a really good friend.
Yeah.
And that was a bummer.
For sure. For sure.
But... yeah, it's funny because my mom will still talk about it too.
Did your mom like wonder and wish that like it had worked out? Mm-hmm. And you guys,
yeah. My mom is delusional when it comes to all that stuff, though. I don't want to talk about her past, but she didn't really knock it out of the park by any means.
With your dad?
Yeah.
Well, that's hard. I mean, and also I think your mom always wants the best for you.
Yeah, and, I love my mom.
Wants her grandbabies too.
Yeah, my mom. She did a great job raising me and my brother. She was essentially a single mother for a majority of my life. Mm-hmm. So I respect the woman for trying
for sure
to do everything that she needed to do to give my brother and myself the best living. But when
you said she was a single mom.
Yeah, my dad skipped out and periodically would. Okay. I'm working on a bit about it now, but I call my dad. My dad kind of feels like the guy that would make the superstar cameo appearance on a sitcom. Mm-hmm. Like occasionally he pop in. They're like, "Oh my god, is that Ted Danson?"
Yeah.
Like he was around, but like he would only show up every one episode during one season. He would just pop in and be like, "Holy shit!" Yeah. That's basically how it was, and still to this day, I haven't spoken to my dad in a long time. So.
Oh shit! I'm sorry to hear that.
No, that's what therapy's for, my guy.
Right, exactly. You in therapy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just got a new therapist 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. I think we mentioned this.
Yeah.
And you're starting over your
So
backstory with the guy.
Yep. New therapist was like, I'm such a fucking child. I picked my therapist because she had the most Italian sounding name. Mm-hmm. And
you trust an Italian?
I do. I trust it because I grew up around New Jersey Italians.
Right.
But like my true thought process was like, God, I hope she has an accent.
Yeah.
How would we process the trauma? Yeah. That's all I want.
Tell me about your father.
And I'm like, fuck, what an idiot I am. I just want this woman to have an accent so I can process shit.
Yeah, I trust her more.
What a fucking child.
I trust her more. She can sound like she's from Long Island.
Yeah.
She got to sound like an Italian.
I know. I mean, if she sounded like she was from Long Island, I might ask her to marry me again.
Oh, wait. Was your ex-fiance from Long Island?
No, she was from upstate, but I have a bit of a track record with Italian women from Long Island.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
As my unfortunate soft spot.
For dating?
Yeah. I had a track record. Basically, if you
have a type?
Yeah, if you got a vowel at the end of your name, we might hang out.
Is it weird that you can develop a type of?
Well, I just had
you run into the same girls.
I had a track record, like especially when I got on apps here. Like the girls that I connected with immediately were just like these short Italian girls from Long Island. They had these big families and we're like, yeah, we're gonna do this cookout and my 3 like uncles and cousins and so on and so forth. There's gonna be like 28 of my family members there. And I'm like, that sounds pretty rad. Which means because I know the food is not only gonna be good, but also like you're gonna have a sick house with like a big pool and stuff. Like I was there for the accessories.
Yeah, the family.
Yeah. It was
the hang.
Yeah. But of course, that never worked. And the dating apps never work out exactly how they plan. I know some people that have had a lot of success, but it's so weird now because there's just so many people. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand how anybody can just make that decision. To be like, just you. You're the one. It's so hard.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting out there and dating a little bit.
I'm on a hiatus. I've been off the apps 90 days.
90 days?
Yeah.
You trying to meet a girl in person?
I did actually, like a couple months ago. We went out on one date and ended up going back to her place. Went back. So I put on. I always think of myself as kind of an approachable, nice guy. You know, I'll put on some charm whenever I need to. But this girl was at the bar. She had like this half sleeve tattoo, which is very. It was just, I liked it. And I was like, it's a good looking tattoo.
Yeah.
So my buddy's like, just go talk to her. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to. So I just went up to her and I'm just like, what's the story of the tattoo? She's like, she goes, oh, it's just a family emblem. And there's like this little thing. And there was like the fire goddess like in the middle. And I said, wow. I said, it's a very, I said, I like the story of the tattoo. I said, it looks like you are really interested in like the arts and like things like that. And she's like, are you hitting on me?
What did you say?
I go, are you open to it? Like, are you open to being hit on? And she goes, I've never had anybody follow up that question with another question before. She's like, she goes, that's a little weird. She goes, but like, I'm interested. I'm like, okay. I was like, fuck it, I'll take it, dude.
Dude, that is weird.
That's
that to me is why you're funny.
Just, I have little quirks. I like it.
Yeah.
But I took her out. Took her out on a date. Did not realize that she lived in New Jersey. And I fucking went back to her place. She lived in Weehawken, New Jersey, which is over on the other side.
Wait. Okay, so this is funny. This is like the logistics of like going back to a girl's place. What do you live in? So you lived in Queens.
Yeah, we met
at the time.
We still, yeah. So I went into the city.
Went to the city for the date.
Well, I actually did a show and then went to the date after.
Right.
And
where was the date?
Like Chelsea.
Okay.
Area.
Chelsea's in Manhattan.
Chelsea is like, from like, it's like 24th Street and like 8th Avenue, kind of like on the West End.
West End.
Yeah, west side of the city. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went there. And
then you went back to her place in New Jersey?
Went back to her place in New Jersey. She like paid for the Uber. She was like, I'll pay for the Uber.
That's such a long distance trip. Like for people that don't know.
Yeah.
That's like over the river the other way.
Yep. So you have to go uptown and you have to go across. You have to take the Midtown Tunnel and go all the
This is the thing guys do for pussy. This is so funny, dude.
Well, the thing is that
have you seen
but it was totally like, I had no intention of going back with her. She was just like, we had a pretty good vibe going.
Yeah.
And she gave me this like really like not like stern, but she was like, she goes, I got a feeling you like are going to be really good in bed. And I was like, and I go, thank you. Like I
your feeling is correct.
Yeah. I was like, I do appreciate
yeah. Very good at sex.
Believe it or not. Yeah. I treat sex as if I have to fuck my way into living with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right. There's a lot riding on this.
There's a lot riding on this because if I fuck this up, I have a lot of things going against me.
I need to be able to stay.
I have a lot of things where a woman can look at me and go, "Here are all the detractors of this guy." So I really got to fuck my way into this.
Just learn how to fuck, dude.
So I fucked my way into
a good situation.
So yeah, we ended up going back to her place in Weehawken, New Jersey.
How far is that? Like if I was going to drive to Weehawken
right
now
God.
from here.
Fucking, I don't know. Look
2
it up.
hours?
It's like 45 minutes at least, though. Maybe an hour with traffic.
Right.
But still, you have to go across Manhattan to get a. So basically, like,
just like.
Yeah, you have to take Midtown.
It feels like a concrete.
You have to take a Midtown tunnel through.
Yeah.
Because it's in the middle of New Jersey on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy once you get out of New York to get there because it's literally right there. Yeah. But.
Yeah.
It was just a weird situation. And this girl, I didn't realize it. Like, she had a George Costanza infatuation.
Oh, nice.
Like, obsessed. Like,
nice.
Like, I walked into her room and she had a small little, like, oil painting of George Costanza.
Yeah. The Timeless Art of Seduction with his shirt off?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dude,
so as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, cool. And then then of course, like I get in my own brain. I was like, fuck, she thinks I look like George Costanza. He's a balding dude with a short balding guy with glasses. And I was like, fuck, man.
You're in great shape. George is in good shape.
I'm not in great shape. I'm just skinny. Like George is
not.
He's a portly fellow.
He's a portly fellow, but George is actually pretty athletic.
Bosco.
George is nimble. So is Newman. Newman's fat, but he's actually very graceful and athletic.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, if you're a mailman, you got to be an athletic type.
Do you remember that episode where they're playing Risk and he's running down the street,
down the stairs,
he's like
with the board.
He's like sprinting very gracefully.
My favorite part of that episode is when they're on the train and he's just like talking shit about the Ukraine.
The Ukraine.
He's like, the Ukraine is a strong country.
He's like, the Ukraine is weak.
Yeah.
It's feeble.
I
think it's time to put the hurt on the Ukraine.
In the context of today, it makes so much sense now.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was great that Ukraine got a little shout out in Seinfeld.
Yeah. And now they're getting shout out all the time with their hilarious president.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched old Zelensky clips?
He was an actor.
He was a comedian. He was a comedian in the Ukraine, and he's got a couple of like really funny sketches on YouTube.
Oh yeah, are they in English?
They're in Russian, but you got
captions.
The captions. Yeah, you got to find English caption stuff.
Okay.
But my buddy showed me one the other day. It was a 300 knockoff, but it was instead of 300, it was 300 Jews. It's really funny,
Dude, Zelensky. It was actually funny.
Yeah, really funny.
Was actually
really funny. He plays this like jester type Leonidas. It's really funny.
Dude.
Yeah.
To check that out.
It took me a while because like the YouTube version didn't have the English caps, so I had to go into like the deeper part of the internet. I think I found it on like Vimeo.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm going to watch this. And it is very funny.
Yeah.
He's a funny dude.
So there's playful anti-Semitism in Ukrainian comedy.
There's a lot of playful anti-Semitism.
There's just straight up anti-Semitism.
Oh, yeah.
Playful.
Oh, yeah. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Nobody's talking about it anymore. What the hell?
Zelensky.
Yeah,
Ukraine. It kind of faded from the news. Now we got aliens in the news. Actually,
aliens
yesterday. What are your feelings on the...
fucking want to meet one.
Do you think they're real?
I want to meet one.
Did you follow the story about what happened?
I did, yeah.
So what was officially the...
So like it's an intelligence person that is essentially one of those like Area 51 type guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically just... from his opinion, he solidified the fact that like, hey, remember all that shit we were saying was like a faux pas? It's real. We've seen ships. We have intelligence on these people. We have them in our possession.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but is this dude insane? Like that's
yeah.
Like, is this guy just trying to get his 5 minutes?
Right.
You know what I mean?
People were like celebrating yesterday that it was like conclusive. The U.S. government admits that we have alien bodies and ships, and I was like, was that what it was? Because it's a whistleblower who used to work for the government who's saying it under oath.
So that's the thing is that, I mean, what is under oath anymore, dude? Like we're praying on a book that a lot of people don't believe is a real thing. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, how are they going to prove that he was lying?
Yeah. Like, oh, you're making me swear on a Bible under oath? Oh, cool. The thing that I don't believe in anymore? That's cool. Yeah, no, I'll tell you the truth from beginning to end.
Yeah. I'll swear on Harry Potter.
Yeah. Dude, put a Torah in front of me.
Yeah.
That has a little bit more believable story. The Book of Mormon.
Give me the Book of Mormon. Give me the
But I think.
So you think they are real though?
I want them to be. I just like anything that is outer worldly. Like I want something that's not just this guy did something to this guy or this country is fighting with this country. Yeah. You know, I want some Independence Day shit.
Right. I find it interesting. You're right. Like any external information that comes in that can be factored into like how we look at.
It's just another thing to talk about too. I mean, it's more fun than arguing with another person or two countries having conflict over land or oil or something that is a taxable asset.
Yeah. Or answering questions of like, why are we here? Like,
I like those questions. I like getting very high and being like, what the fuck are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
Like the thing is too is like when I say like I'll be like facetious when I say things like, we're just like literal blips on the radar. Like we're not like I do believe everyone has like a bit of a meaning, But like in hindsight, or even in just like the scope of the universe, fucking nothing, dude. Like,
I don't think so. I think it's significant.
No, we're nothing, dude.
I think it's...
But I think we're nothing but something from the aspect of like human beings. Like we are something. We're here to do a task, or we're here to do something that is going to hopefully live on for some sort of generation to pass along to other people. But to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am purely significant is, I think, a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know. I think we're capable of stuff. Like I feel like we are. Our bodies and shit will decay and be gone and forgotten forever.
Yeah.
But I feel like interactions between people and like love and relationships and fun and moments.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Good positive vibes and things like that. I think that's actually like almost outside of time and.
I agree. Actually, I mean, I agree with you.
There's value in that.
There's value. There's value in human communication and human like decency and like
joy, happiness,
emotion, feelings, like
good vibes.
I think that's important.
I live for that shit.
My issue is when people have this like existentialism about everything.
Yeah.
When they're just like, I am here because I am a god. It's like, no, the fuck you're not, dude. You're a speckle of dust. You're a speckle of dust with an opinion and a camera.
I am God.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You mean less than nothing sometimes.
That gets exacerbated too with the phones, the phone stuff.
We're an egotistical society. I mean, we're just drowned with stuff all the time, dude. And we're no better. We're talking heads.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're doing it.
That's what we're doing. We're doing a podcast into a light on a camera. This is our life now.
It's so self-aggrandizing.
This is what we do. Can you believe people like this is a job? This is going to be a job.
This is a job, yeah.
It's a fucking job. I mean,
pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm having a good time. I like it. I greatly enjoy doing this.
For sure.
But also, I like to temper my expectations of society a little bit.
Yeah.
Like whenever I see a podcast or like a video go up, I go, man, someone's going to say something really mean about this. Immediately. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to be like, stupid. Look at how much ankle this guy's showing right now with these pants.
Yeah.
Thigh. Yeah. Look at this guy wearing shorts.
Yep. The first
take off your hat, you fucking jamoke.
All the negative voices in your brain.
There you go.
Yeah, the first couple episodes I shot like this, just wide open, and the camera was like right. It was like
just one testicle falls out.
Yeah, I am up my own dick about this show.
Be like, hey guys, what's going on? Subscribe to my OnlyFans, $5 a month. I might show you my entire hang down.
I don't think this is special.
Thought about getting on OnlyFans for a second.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want to do bubble bath porn. You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Basically, you just sit naked in a tub and part the seas.
He's like, you want to see this under the bubbles? You'll have to pay $3.99.
$4 on special this month. I'll part the seas.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, does that sound like a $10,000 a month idea? I think it does.
Some Italian chicks from Long Island might be.
Yeah, it's DMs are open. I'm at Zach Koscuik on Instagram and Twitter. If anybody has a bathtub I can use, dude, I'll provide bubbles.
It's hard for guys to monetize their sex work. I think.
Yeah.
I know a person. I'm not going to say their
name. No, I got a guy friend who does it too, but he's hot.
And it's
very hot.
It's predominantly bi and gay dudes that you're putting work for it. So it's gay for pay, they say.
Yeah. He said that the same way too.
Sex work, gay for pay.
He goes, I'm gay for pay, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, that's great, dude. I'm really happy for you. I was like, you got a good body. Might as well show it off.
Gay for pay, because do you have to like speak to your viewers like yeah, I'm gonna
yeah you do.
You have to talk as if you're gonna be.
You have to talk as if you're gonna do stuff to them. So I'm curious. I mean, I bet I could do it. I'm a pretty good method actor. I mean, I could definitely get into it. I'm gonna do it right now.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I need like a funny username for somebody. Hey, thanks Backdoor69 for the follow.
You could combine names with.
I'm just pretending I'm in a bathtub right now. Hold on, let me get real comfortable with this.
Brett Magic Gilbert.
Brett Magic Gilbert. Big Magic. I see you have a book on there called Big Magic. That's going to be my name.
Big Magic 69.
I'd be like, hey.
Oh, yeah.
You see me? I said I unbuttoned my shirt for you. Thanks for the sub. All right, maybe I giggle too much.
Yeah, thanks for the...
I thought I'd be gay for pay.
Yeah.
Turns out
I'm awkwardly straight.
Turns out I'm just straight. Just another cisgendered white male. Ugh.
What a fucking...
Don't you ever... Sometimes I walk into a room and I just feel like I have to apologize for being a straight white male.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I followed...
Brooklyn.
I had to follow a girl on a show one time whose entire set was just berating men. And I got up there and I was just like, fuck. I was like, you guys don't want to hear any of my opinions.
Did hers say go well?
It was rocky.
I think sometimes going too hard against the stereotype is like not even... I don't know. Well, people don't love that either.
If it's funny, sure.
Yeah, if it's funny.
Sure, do it if it's funny. I think you can truly... There's a lot of subjects that can be funny. Yeah. If you want to talk about something that you're passionate about and you can make it funny,
yeah,
have at it.
For sure.
I prefer that. I want people to talk about the things that they're most comfortable talking about. Mm-hmm. But there's also this ton of people who just go up there and just process trauma.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's got to be a joke, right? Is it coming? It's coming, right?
No. A lot of times, no. Yeah.
I went to a show one time when a girl just took her shirt off on stage, and she's like, "I am a beautiful woman with all of the world looking at me right now," and I'm like, "Not."
Does she have a bra?
No, tits were out, and I'm like,
dude, I would have supported. I would have clapped.
No, my thing was like, okay, this is a comedy show. That was the first thing that popped in my head. Yeah. So I was like, immediately I'm like, there are tits on stage.
Yeah.
This is going to be tough for me to listen.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, those are boobs.
For sure.
I'm a pretty pea-brained individual.
Right. I like boobs.
Yeah. Boobs are cool, man.
Boobs, dude.
So when she started doing bits, I'm like, all right, I'm in. But then the jokes like started rolling in and they got funny, and I'm like, oh,
and she stayed.
I'm in.
She stayed topless.
Stayed topless the entire time, and then ended up like crushing at the end. And I'm like,
wow,
sick. That's
good
great.
For her.
Yeah,
good for her.
I was like, that's even better.
Yeah.
I'm into that stuff. I like people that are like are out there, but also like are fucking just crushing at it too. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, they don't fuck around with the material.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie? All-time favorite movie?
I love. Have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
With Stanley Kubrick.
Actually,
it's the most unintentionally funny movie of all time. Just the whole scene when they're in boot camp.
Is that the scene with the guy who's like?
It's the drill instructor. It's
and they beat the guy with soap.
Yes, that's it's Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes.
But Arlie Ermy is the drill instructor.
Okay.
Who fucking rules in this movie.
Yeah.
And just some of the shit that he says is so funny. It's the most unintentionally funny movie of all time.
Can you quote it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's that scene where like the original boot camp scene.
Uh-huh.
So when they first get, because this is set during Vietnam, and it's Marines in South. I think they're in South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
What's the base?
There's
it's the
Fort
big
Bragg in
Fort Bragg. I think it is
North Carolina.
I think it's something along those lines. I don't remember
Columbia.
exactly what, but there's the scene in the beginning of the movie where he calls one of the recruits Private Joker, because he makes a joke in the middle of him berating another one of the troops. Mm-hmm. And he like yells across the room. He goes, "Is that you, John Wayne? Or is it me?" And the guy fucking turns around. He's like, "Who the fuck said that?" He just runs across the room. And then he berates him. And then after he gets done berating him, he goes, "I like you. You're a comedian. Private Joker. Man, hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister." I'm like, I'm in on this. It's a great movie.
Extreme dialogue.
I talk about this movie to other comics all the time.
Yeah.
Because we'll share like, hey, what are you watching right now? and I'll go, yo, Full Metal Jacket's on like Netflix right now. And they're like, what's that? And I go, okay. And I'll just like, I have a part of the movie when they're, I'll throw it up on social media sometimes. Where they're doing PT, so they're just like running,
right?
And they're just the cadence and what they're saying is so funny.
Yeah,
I'll play it for you after this because
yeah.
it hooks everybody as soon as I send it to them.
I don't know, but I've been told some stuff like that.
It's like I'm trying to think of the one. I don't know what I've been told. Eskimo pussy is mighty cold.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's so good, man.
Oh man, I gotta rewatch that one.
It's so good.
I've seen it. That reminds me of Joe List has a podcast that he's brought back called Mindful Metal Jacket.
Yeah, that was so. I obviously it's based off of the movie.
The cover's based on it. It's got the same helmet and everything.
It's a great pod.
Yeah,
Joe is a great comic.
Have you met him before?
In passing, he was with a group of people and was just like, "Hello, my name is." I wish I had more time with him because he's such a funny guy.
Dude, but love Joe List. I heard he lives in Queens.
He does. I see him all the time.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I see him all. He's just
on the sidewalk.
Yeah, just walking up.
Where
and down
does he
the
live?
street.
Do you know which block he lives?
I'm not gonna do that. Come on, man. Dude. It's not fanboy out too hard.
Tell me after.
I'll tell you
after it's over.
Sure. I respect the man's privacy.
Dude, no, I have a serious Joe List. I like him a lot.
He's great.
I flew up here to watch him tape his special. This year's material.
Oh, were you there?
2 Decembers ago.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's a great special.
Yeah. The first time of like scoping out New York and going to see some of the comedy clubs. I didn't go to open mics or anything.
Consummate professional. Like those are the guys, like those New York veterans that you kind of look at now that you also kind of know their story so well now because of podcasts and stuff like that.
And they kind of grinded and
they're doing all the same shit that we did. You know, they just, you know, they just made themselves, you know, ever more present than others just because of the way that they write, and they just, it's like an athlete that's just always in the gym, first one in, last one to leave type. Like it's just you just got to do it all the time.
Got to do it all the time.
Only way to get better. You start getting a bit of a cadence about you and understanding who you are. Like I mean, I'm not even 2 years fully into the city, you know, and I was a bit of a late bloomer per se when it came to comedy.
Yeah, me too.
But it was like, I feel like I just got to a point now where I'm like, I can hang a little bit. I never toot my own horn. I need to.
But you feel.
I need to be a little bit more.
But you feel kind of like
confident
in like who you are. You know who you are.
I like the fact
you have like a skill set. You know,
I know what I deliver. I know what I can do.
You're not like every night like, oh god.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't feel like shaky. I'm doing the best I can.
I'm looking forward to getting rid of the shakes, bro.
Yeah, you'll get rid of the shakes.
I'll get rid of the shakes.
Yeah, it'll happen. I still like, especially if it's a brand new thing that I'm doing. I'm like, this is gonna fucking blow.
Yeah, you always got a little shakes.
Yeah,
probably.
I did a brand new joke yesterday, and it's before I even said the joke. I was like, you guys are gonna hate this, and then I did it. I
was there. Yeah,
I want to stop myself because I was like, it actually is not a terrible premise. So I need to just keep going.
Don't even say it. Yeah,
I know self-doubt is part of the game.
Yeah,
it's gonna.
How do you overcome self-doubt in your own life?
Just keep doing the joke. Like, especially if it gets like a laugh after you say you hate it, you're like, oh, maybe this is something. And then you just kind of peel it back. Like I wrote a new tag for it and I'm going to try it today and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But
good deal. What mics you in today?
I'm everywhere. I'm going to do Brooklyn, Manhattan, just go everywhere. I'm going to pop into a show, might do a little time. So.
Okay.
Yeah, man. We out here, baby.
We out here.
We out here.
Well, we're at like an hour and 20. So, yeah, that's a pod. Yeah. That's a good pod.
That's a good pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get something else out of you before.
Okay.
So
I'm not gonna do anything sexual on this camera. So, you know,
yeah.
When you say get something out of you, it's just like, let's see that man juice.
Well, I was gonna ask best piece of comedy advice you ever got, and or maybe just advice you would give to other people where you're at now versus, because again, a lot of people at this point that are still listening, I think, are folks in South Carolina, people that haven't moved to a big city yet. So
yeah, they're just kind of getting
they don't even know like what it's like to have, you know, done the like you, and you know, I've only been here a couple weeks, so I don't know shit yet.
I think the best piece of advice I've gotten so far in New York, there's an older veteran comic guy that's been around he's a touring guy. He's become a pretty decent friend of mine because it's amazing when you just treat somebody like a human being,
right?
That they come back and they treat you like a human being back. So he came up to me, watched me do a set, and he gave me and he like watched my set, and I was a little scared because I was like, I respect this guy. He's very funny.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of walking towards outside, and he was kind of following me. And he goes, "Slow down." I go, "What?" He goes, "Your thoughts." He goes, "You have a lot of thoughts." He goes, "Slow down." He goes, "Because you're funny. I can see it." He goes, "You have you have this like silly comic value to you."
Yeah.
He goes, "So I can tell you can do comedy." He goes, "But you got to slow down. You got to consolidate your thoughts." He goes, "Because if you slow down," he goes, "and you're more methodical, people will recognize that, and they'll be like, this guy's making a point." He goes, "You're not just," he goes, "you're telling jokes." He goes, "But your jokes are going to have poignancy. So you need to just," he goes, "just be a little slower." Yeah. And I go, "All right." So that's probably the best advice. And he goes, "Also, when you make money, buy real estate."
Yeah.
He goes, "Invest in shit." I go,
invest
"Okay,
in shit.
Good idea.
Protect your
protect your assets. Invest in shit."
Yeah. Well, folks, that's good advice.
I thought so. Yeah.
Totally.
I'm so much slower now on stage.
Yeah.
But still fun.
It's interesting. I see some comics that do talk quickly. Joe List talks quickly. Yeah. I think.
But there's also like
he'll talk quickly in a setup, and
there's
then
purpose though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He'll like lay out all the details that you need, and then pause, and then boom, 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 boom.
That's essentially what I would. I got to get to that point where it's just like, just rapid fire punchlines. There's just something that is, something that it's a learned trait. You just gotta. Once you do a joke a couple of times, you're like, I can throw that there, throw one more thing there, and like the thing a joke I'm working on today. Like that's the thing. I wrote 2 new like tags on top of the punchline, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is way better now. So
yeah.
Yep, just gotta.
Yeah, and that gets you excited to try it.
I do. Yeah, I have to try it.
It's not just the old joke.
If
the old joke plus these new tags.
If I don't try it, I will be sad. I get sad if I don't try it.
Yeah, now that it's in your brain, you gotta get it out.
It's just like, if I don't try this, then here comes depression. Yeah.
No, that's great advice. Well, dude, thanks for coming on.
Hell yeah, dude.
Shout out your socials one more time.
Yes.
And then
Yes. Zach Koscuik on all social media. Zach K Comedy on TikTok. It might, just from a pure standpoint of letting everybody know, I believe that is the new handle within the next week. So I'm going to switch everything to Zach K Comedy. But right now, so Koscuik, Koscuik, that's where you can find me.
Nice.
Everywhere else.
Okay,
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
We'll link whatever it is below. And thanks for doing it, man. You're the first New York guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
It's awesome.
We'll get some heavier hitters in here next time.
No,
right?
it's been great. We already hung out. We've already done karaoke.
We did.
Yeah.
What a side of me you got to see.
Yeah. And it's been great. But yeah, you guys have been awesome. It's been great getting to know you. And man, check Zach out. Follow him. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you. If anybody has a job, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll write for you. I'll do whatever you need. I'll do. Dude, I'll literally do anything,
Yes, exactly. All right. Bye, guys.
Once that deal is done, ain't got no more boats to run. Once that deal is done, ain't got no boats to run. Once that deal is done.